Use the first one to get an understanding of the life that you want for yourself, because obviously you don't understand it yet, and that's perfectly fine. And then you're going to use the next one to manifest it, so you can look at a schedule of what does your day look like, what are some of the things you want to include. Like, the reason why you haven't achieved your life is because you can't even see it. ChatGPT, we've all heard of it before, being the future of the world, the future of the internet. On this video, I'm going to show you 4 simple steps on how to use ChatGPT to attract, to manifest, to essentially create your dream life. So let's get started. The first one, get clear on what you want. You have to figure out what specific category in your life do you want to change. It can be relationships, it can be finances, it can be, but what specifically do you want to create? What do you want to attract? So it's not saying I want to make more money. No, how do you want that money? What specific career you want? It's not saying I want a man. No, what do you want that man to look like? Become specific on what you want. So that's in the big bubble. For me, I put full-time content creator. After that, come up with specifics of what that thing will look like for you. And the reason why I keep saying specific and why that's very imperative is because it makes it first and foremost more real for you, and it's harder for you to run away from it and or make excuses of it. Now, a lot of times when we have goals, we want our goals to be broad, right? We don't want to say how much money we specifically want to make. We just want to say we want to make a lot of money. We don't say how many followers we specifically want to have. We just say we want to have a lot of followers. The thing is, the less specific it is, the more leeway you feel like you have, the less amount of responsibility you have. And even sometimes the more it seems like it can be achievable to other people, but not you. It's easy to say, oh yeah, you could be a black comedian from the hood. Look at Kevin Hart, he's from Philadelphia, da 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 da. But then you don't think there can be a black comedian that comes out of your city. But you think a different city could do it, if you get what I'm saying. But it's because when you don't make your goals specific enough, it makes it easier for other people to do it instead of you. So I said, black woman, under 30, making millions, lifestyle / self-growth content. That is what I see for myself. That is the woman that I am creating. That's why I was even as specific as saying black woman, because that is what I am, and that is what makes my experience different. And that's what I want you to do. Even with a man, you want to describe the kind of man you want. Describe all the specs about him. Don't say you just want a man. Don't just say I want a funny man. That's all you want. Oh no, I want a man that also communicates with me. I also want a man that, all these things that you want, and essentially let yourself be delusional. Like, don't have that mindset like, oh, well, men can't be this and be that at the same time. Or I can't do this and do that. The whole point is for you to create your dream life. So allow yourself to dream. The second step, what are your doubts? And so this is the one where you have to be very honest with yourself. What is the reason why you feel like this thing is unattainable to you, unachievable to you? Or sometimes even the question of why haven't you gotten this thing yet, or even started this thing? A lot of us do not start things, honestly, 95% of the time, 99% of the time, because of our doubts. We have so many doubts, so I want you to put them on paper. What are your doubts? For me, I said it's hard for black women. It is harder for black women in my experience of doing it. Not sure when you guys found out about me, but many of you guys may know I was first on TikTok, and I was in calls or meetings or just conferences with other content creators who were not black, and I might have had more engagement with them than them. I might have had more following than them, but when money was brought to the table, more times, honestly, every single time, they were offered more than me. And it was just kind of a thing of like, but you say you want this metric and this metric. I do everything you kind of said you wanted, but I'm not enough. And I couldn't think of any other reason besides I am a black woman. It doesn't make it impossible, but I definitely could say it is harder. Not pretty enough. Now, this is something that I've struggled with since my childhood, just my looks. There are times, don't get me wrong, like I would like this weekend, I went out Saturday to like this little festival or whatever, and I just felt like I looked so cute. Like I really did look really cute, but it's not a constant thing. It's like, I would say I think I look cute maybe 2 days out of the week. It's something that I'm getting better at, but I can honestly say a lot of times I feel like I'm not pretty enough. And I feel like if we're gonna be honest, there's something called the halo effect. Not sure if you are familiar with that one in psychology, but people who are more conventionally attractive usually have a higher rate of being hired at jobs. They have a higher rate of just getting benefits, like pretty privilege is a real thing. So there's that. And then too many content creators. I do sometimes feel that as well. Like I do want to achieve all these things, but a lot of times I feel like there's so many people that want to achieve those things that puts doubts in my head as far as, can I get that? And there are a few more, but these are just roughly what I wanted to come up with. Now, the next step is that you're going to have to go into ChatGPT and you're going to have to tell them what you're going through. So let me tell you guys what I wrote. I said, can you find results in real life examples of things like books, documentaries, interviews, etc., of fictional characters, celebrities, historical figures, etc., of people who are content creators on YouTube with more than 300,000 followers, Black women under 30, and make lifestyle content. So I said to give me results and where I can find these things, right? Like I said, in books, documentaries, interviews, and don't worry, I will put this inside the caption so you can just copy and paste it and put your own. And then I said, and then I put specifically what I want. I want to be a content creator on YouTube, more than 300,000 followers, Black woman under 30. And they gave me a list of individuals. And that is where you are going to start. That is how you are going to start creating your dream life. The first step is realizing that it's possible. The crazy part is you have this mindset that individuals like you can't do this. You have this thought process that this thing is not real. And that's another reason why you're here in this video, because you haven't gotten the things you wanted to in life, but you can't figure out why. Like, why have I not gotten those things? You literally have to reframe your brain and reprogram your brain on a consistent basis to put things inside of your brain that make your brain see this is real. So instead of having a conversation with your brain of, oh, I don't think I can achieve this, because that, it's going to be really hard to say that to yourself when you have constant content of interviews, of books you can read, of people you can follow on social media that are doing what you want to do. And the reason why this is so imperative is because we're on social media so much. We're seeing people live so much. So why don't you follow the lives of individuals who are living in the same path that you want to create? You already said this is what you want. You've already said these are the things that you want. And so for me, they gave me a list of creators that I can look into, and depending on what you search up is going to give you different ideas. So in the first example I saw this, and I will tag the two women that actually gave me the idea for this video from TikTok. One of the ladies was saying how she wanted a certain kind of relationship, and she was saying all the things that she wants her man to have, and she was just saying, but her doubts are some of the things are not conducive to each other, right? She doesn't feel like, she said something to the extent of like, you can be in a loving relationship with a man that's funny, all this other stuff, and still have like sexual tension and just all these like other things. Like, it just, there's not a guy or a relationship that can do both. And so they gave her books, they gave her fictional characters, even they gave her things that were, you know, showing that this is possible. With me, mine was very specific, so they honestly only gave me a list of content creators, but I used that as a launch pad. Then from there, the content creators they gave me, I was looking up interviews of these creators. I was looking at these creators on social media. The whole idea is that it's making you understand that your life, your goals, your manifestations are achievable. And what you do from there, in my opinion, like I said, that's when you start reading the books. That's when you start following the people. And even watching interviews. I think I'm just a big interview girly, but even watching interviews from these people and listening to them talk, and then even seeing how a lot of people who are on social media have started so long ago. Like, most of the time, the people that you see that blew up recently, you don't hear of them anymore. Like, think of the people who blew up in a month or had a video overnight that blew up or blew up in even a year. We rarely hear of them now. Like, no shade or whatever, but like the Charlie D'Amelio's, I mean, that's very specific to TikTok, but like a lot of those girls who were like TikTok big in the beginning, I never see their content. I never hear of them. Doesn't mean they're not doing good, but I don't really see them. The girls who I see now consistently, I go to their page and I'm like, oh my gosh, she started her page in 2012. Oh my gosh, she started her page in 2015. And it does give me personally a certain level of confidence, because it's so easy to compare myself to these other individuals who a lot of times don't look like me, aren't doing necessarily what I want to do, but I just see them with the glamour. I see them with the followers, and I'm just like, oh, why is it so hard for me? But then I use this method and I'm looking at people who are doing what I want to do, and I see how hard it was for them. And I don't know, for me, I felt like that was a great technique because it made it a lot easier, not easier, but it made it more understandable. And that's the whole idea. Now you have actual references. So number 4, this is the one that is really the manifestation one. And this is the one that I'm going to read every single morning and every single night. So let me tell you the prompt that I used to get this. So I went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, I'm using this to manifest something I want to happen. Please write me an email as if you are my manager. I am ChamiaTiarra, a 24-year-old full-time content creator that makes self-development and lifestyle content that has millions of followers on social media, and I also own a wellness brand. I've also been mentioned on Forbes 30 Under 30. What does a successful day look like for me? In my ideal world, it will include things such as meeting with big brands, shooting content, doing influencer events, running my wellness brand, and so much more. Use this to create email of a schedule of what my day would look like. And they sent me out a schedule. So I'm gonna put it here on the screen. And so this says, here's my schedule for July 30th. It is packed full with activities. So if you see here, it starts at 8 a.m. I have a morning routine, content creation. I start my day with my usual morning routine, incorporating elements from my wellness brand. I shoot and share a good morning routine. Then at 10 a.m., I have a meeting with a major brand. And the whole point of here is like I will insert brands and different things to make it specific with me. At 1 p.m., you guys can see I have a networking and lunching meeting with industry influencer slash partner at a trendy restaurant slash cafe. So I will have to specifically put in there. And then as you guys can see, I'll have an influencer event that I have to attend. You get the idea. The whole point of this is that, and I also am going to email it to myself. So it's like a thing of me waking up in the morning for like I got an email to me, and I'm actually going to print it out to read it. You have to start attracting the life that you want. You have to make the life that you want for yourself actually seem realistic to yourself. A big problem that I've noticed a lot of people have is nobody wants to work. I know it sounds so cliche. I know it sounds, but nobody, I was recently talking to somebody and it was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until, I don't have to work these long hours and I don't want to have to. No, you're really saying, I don't want to work at this job. The whole point of showing yourself a schedule is to see from the time you wake up, from the time you go to sleep, you're going to be busy and you want to enjoy what you do. But if you specifically put the life for yourself, you specifically put the things that you want in your life, and a lot of them you got from ChatGPT, right? You found the specific career that you want for yourself and people who work that career. You see what they do on a day-to-day basis. You see some of the goals they achieved. So you're going to put it inside of here in that bracket that says goals and things you achieve. That's what you're going to do. And that's why it's a two-step thing. You're going to use the first one to get an understanding of the life that you want for yourself, because obviously you don't understand it yet. And that's perfectly fine. And then you're going to use the next one to manifest it. So you can look at a schedule of what does your day look like? What are some of the things you want to include? Like it gets to a certain point where it's like the reason why you haven't achieved your life is because you can't even see it. You need to start seeing it. You need to start creating it. And this is a great way to do it. And this is how, in my opinion, I'm personally going to manifest the life that I want for myself, because I'm going to start putting it into my subconscious. I'm going to start doing it on a consistent basis. And a great time to do it, you might have seen here, it says theta waves, is right before you go to sleep. So there's a very specific time before you go to sleep, and it's called when you're in theta, essentially what your brain is in. Not going to get too scientific, but it's a weird part of your brain where your brain is kind of not asleep, but it's not awake. And a lot of people, scientists have said, it's a great time to manifest things, because I've mentioned it on videos before, but your subconscious does not know real from fake. So if you wake up tomorrow and say to yourself, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I make so-and-so amount of money, and I do this and I do that. Of course, yes, you may not necessarily have the money, but if you start acting as if you're that person, your brain is just going to assume you're that person. It's happened with actors before. Like, I don't know if you guys can research it, but some actors actually have gotten stuck in their role. There was this one actor who the person he played, his character had a stutter or he had a wisp. One or the other, and I think it's a stutter though. And to this day, that actor still has a stutter. He was not able to get out of it because he played the character so well. And I know that was a random example, but I want you guys to understand you literally can change your life by reprogramming it. That's the whole point of you watching the interviews, you looking at the books, you possibly finding documentaries. That's the whole point of you making the schedule. And then you can change it and adjust it and make new ones, honestly, every single day to make yourself feel like this is the life that I want for myself. This is the life that I have for myself. Forget the life that I want for myself. This is what I have. And so over time, you're going to pay attention to those things. Over time, you're going to, on here, it says I wake up in the morning, right? And it says I have a morning routine and content creation and stuff like that. Even if you're one of those people that doesn't necessarily, you know, have the life that you want, but this is something similar to you want, let's say you want to be a content creator. Do you have a morning routine? Okay, no, you don't. That's the first step. Because we see it here. We see it in the life that you want to create for yourself. You're going to have a morning routine. So why don't you start now? We see it in the life you want for yourself. You're going to have to shoot your morning, good morning routine or whatever. Why don't you start now? That's the whole point of this, as far as creating the life that you want, but just using the assistance of ChatGPT to just give you the strategies for it. So I know this is a board video, but this one was still a little different. I hope that you liked it. I actually decided to create a playlist. So I have my board videos, I have my sit down videos, I have my vlogs, just so if you like a specific kind of content that I make, you can easily find it. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, tell me below if you like this video. I know it was a little different because it was ChatGPT. It was a lot of insertions and stuff, but thank y'all so much. And like I said, here are the names of the girls I got the idea from, and go below in the show notes so you guys can see the specific things that I enter into ChatGPT, so you can just enter it yourself and add your own information. Thank y'all and have a great one.